Spain is having there is a cultural enrichment program happening right now in Spain. Let's take a look at it.
Really wild video here. Chaos at the border of Spain's North African enclave in Morocco. This is a city called Ceuta. You're watching as thousands of migrants.
So basically, there's like, okay, like I don't understand fucking Spanish politics, all right? But my understanding of this is that there is part of Morocco that is Spain, and it's on the very edge, right? And on that part, if they can go to that part, then they can spawn in base Spain. So basically, it's kind of like if you get to the extraction zone, you can get back to base, and the base is now Spain. So this is Spain. You can see because it says Spain. Isn't like it's like over here, right? Yeah, here it is. So this is right here. This is the extraction zone. And you can see this is the part of Spain, okay? The tip? Yeah, it's just the tip, all right? I didn't know it was so small. This is my first time looking at it. I vaguely know about this, but I'm not really a fucking expert. And you can see the reason why they have this, right? I mean, Spain's literally right fucking here. So it's just the tip. It is. This is, guys, it's just the tip. It's the very, very, you could even call it the, never mind. Let's move on. So you can look at this, and how does it look? It looks like basically, you know what it looks like? It looks like PUBG. It does. It looks like PUBG. And so let's take a look at another one. Okay, and this also, right. Okay, looks like, again, PUBG. And over here, this is, yeah, okay, got it. And so, but you can go into here. I don't know what these cities look like. I mean, this is very clearly Spain, right? I mean, you look at this, like, look at the Todo, Papalumo, Patricia. Like, I mean, guys, that's Spanish, all right? Like, I don't know Spanish, but that's Spanish. So, and, but yeah, exactly. It's actually Counter-Strike. Maybe it is. And it's Pokemon. I think she's Moroccan. I'm not really sure. But anyway, okay, this is not so good, right? And so this is basically what they did, is they would get to this extraction zone, and then they could respawn in the main base. You understand? And this right here is the main base. It's called Spain, okay? Do you see how all these things fit together? You see? Now you're in the main base. Okay, good. So let's watch. I just want you guys to understand the geography of what this problem is. How does this make any sense? It doesn't. That's why it's news.
Break through the fence and completely overwhelm the border police.
And we saw this
video showing huge groups of people, mostly young military-age guys, cramming into inflatable tubes or arriving on shore another way. Some of them wading in the water as they break through the gates.
You know, there's a movie. It was called World War Z, and this reminds me of that movie.
Sandra, this is reminiscent of kind of what we saw during the open border during the Biden administration through 2021, 2024.
This happened in America every day.
In 2021. The socialist agenda, their platform literally says they want to abolish borders, abolish immigration. And
they're going to bring in infinity Africans, and then they're going to vote in themselves. They're going to vote these Africans to have infinity levels of welfare. And then after that, well, then the Africans can never not vote for them because they're going to get infinite welfare.
Enforcement, have complete freedom of movement. This is what it looks like in another country. If
Look at all these young children. Well, they're all 12 years old. You're going to put these guys in middle schools in Spain
without any obstruction. And if people don't know, Spain has a very left-wing government. Earlier this year, they did a big amnesty program for over 1 million illegal immigrants living in the country. They had 1.3 million illegal immigrants apply for that amnesty program between April and June. So that's what we call a pull factor, Sandra. They're looking for something like that. They know if they can just get their foot in the country. Maybe
this is like Normandy, but nobody has a gun.
Someday that left-wing government we'll do another amnesty program. And you were just reading some of the wires. The locals want an emergency declaration. It sounds like
bunch of lads having fun. No. Well, I don't hate these guys. The guys that are doing this, like, if I was in Morocco, if I was in the Congo, if I was in Zimbabwe, and I heard that I could get to Spain, and then Spain would give me a house and like a hot Spanish wife, I would be trying to get to Spain too. Like, I don't. See, this is the reason why I don't hate them. It's because they have no obligation to Spain. Like, I don't hate the Chinese for trying to subvert America, but I hate Americans for allowing and agreeing with the Chinese when they're trying to subvert America. Like, I recognize that everybody has their own internal, like, best interest in mind with everything. So when I see these guys coming over, I have no ill will towards them. You have to leave. You've got to go back. I don't want you here, but I don't hate you. I just don't want you in the fucking country. That's it. Does that make sense? They're invaders? Well, you have to look at it from their perspective. Spain is a foreign country that from their, like, they don't even understand the concept of that. They have no idea about this. They're just going to try and show up wherever the fuck they can get free stuff. It's not complicated, right? Understanding is different than approving. I hate them. I know, and there's a lot of people that do. I'm just giving you my 2 cents on it.
And
that's the way I feel.
Military to the border.
I'm not saying you should feel the same way.
I mean, look at this. This is a total free-for-all.
It does feel like we are looking at a few years ago when you were reporting at the border here in the United States. This is happening right now. This story is breaking right now. And you're not just talking about hundreds, thousands of migrants are pouring over the borders as we speak.
Yeah, and again, I mean, just look here. Do you see any women or children? I mean, most people would call these folks so-called asylum seekers. These are all young guys just flooding into the country and overwhelming what, if any, border there is. It looks like there's just kind of a small barbed wire fence or something like that. But you can see the Spanish government is caught completely off guard here, and you have thousands of these men.
They're not caught off guard. This is genetic. This is engineered, like, systematically. They want this to happen. It's allowed. Yeah, exactly. Like, why do you have a system like this? It's in order to allow this to happen.
I mean, it literally looks like...
It's like what, I think Elon said this, like, a system's purpose is what it does. There you go.
You often hear the word invasion, but it literally looks like one here. Look at that. I mean, you see the border fence there. They're all just going around it. And again...
The head of Spain's civil guard is calling this absolute chaos. In a brand new interview, he said, quote, "It's not possible to give precise numbers, but there are thousands of migrants crossing right now." He added...
Look at that. Oh, my God. And this person, this is my opinion, by the way. Imagine if you didn't live in America. How hard would you try to get here? The rest of the world sucks that bad. I can't blame them, but I still don't want them here illegally or really at all. We are already overpopulated. We're not even overpopulated. I just don't want them here. Yeah, like, I feel the same way, but I don't think we're overpopulated. I just don't want them here, period, right? But what actions would you take? This seems like it just suddenly happened. I just figure out, if I was Spain, I'd just send in the military, remove every single one of these people, put them in, camps before they get shipped back to somewhere in Africa, right? I'd make a treaty or some sort of an agreement with some African country that if you couldn't be shipped back to your country of origin, we're just going to send you to whatever the biggest PvP... You're going to Sudan. You're getting hot dropped in Sudan. That's what's going to happen. And then I would also revert and revoke everybody's amnesty. Like all of the people, because obviously if you were given amnesty, you can easily find out who those people were, right? Because you have to give them paperwork. And so you just find out all those people and then you just undo it. You just literally take it away again and then send them back. All right, could try Syria, send them there. Well, apparently Syria's getting their shit together, at least from what I hear.
That the border
there's incentive for them to go
collapse.
Just shoot them. I want to shoot them.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. And for folks who don't know where this is a small Spanish city, autonomous in North Africa. It's actually in Morocco, but it does have Spanish autonomy. It's called Ceuta. So this is
this is the one. Again, I'm just taking, going back just so you guys understand this. This is it, right? Very, very small place. Extremely small place. Surprisingly small, actually.
on the mainland of Spain. But these images, we've been looking at them on social media all morning. It's just stark to see that there is no resistance whatsoever. I mean, at least in Del Rio back in 2021, when those 20,000 Haitians were crossing the river, similar images to this, you had some border patrol there.
Yeah.
You had Texas DPS there trying to stop them. Here in Spain, there is absolutely nothing stopping these folks from wading ashore.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if you... Like, Poland shoots people that try to come into the border. I'm not opposed to shooting people that come into the border. I'm not. Sure. Yeah, if a country wants to do that. Now, I would not want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that. I think that making a country inhospitable to these people basically would limit this down to very much zero. But, like, yeah, they don't. I've seen this happen. Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, I mean, these people are invading into the country. You don't know whether this person has a bomb or not. Yeah, I think if a country wants to shoot them, it's completely justified. It's totally fine.
Climbing the fences. And Sandra, just, I mean, look at that in the background. I mean, there are thousands upon thousands
Saving
of these
Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Has to be coordinated, right? Yeah, of course it's coordinated. Well, so this is probably what happens, right? If I had to guess, this is what probably happens in Morocco or in these other places, is that there are probably different levels of... This is me making stuff up, okay? Like, I'm now making things up, but, you know, like, just kind of bear with me here. Is that what I think is probably happening is that all of these people are doing this. All of these people are doing this, and they're being, in one way or another, allowed to do this by people that are probably business owners, probably industrial business owners in Spain that are able to utilize this labor. And so those industrial business owners probably have some sort of foul play that enables people that are, you know, maybe activists, right? Because there are activists that want to bring these people into Spain. There are humanitarians. They think that, you know, Spain is evil, and so we have to be punished, right? And Europe has to be punished, America has to be punished for the evils of colonialism by being colonized themselves, right? And this is just like what happens. So they're being used as useful idiots by these big companies because the companies know that they'll import in a bunch of cheap labor. And then what I think happens is it's the same thing that happens with the southern border in America, where you have coyotes. And what are coyotes? Not the dogs, but there are guys that help families and groups of people cross from Mexico into America because they know different routes and areas. Now, this is obviously a horrible thing. It's terrible because there's huge amounts of sexual violence, rape, child abuse. Like, for example, there's a story, and, you know, a lot of these things are like uncorroborated, so it's hard to know whether it's true, where they threw a baby into a lake in order to distract Border Patrol because they knew the Border Patrol for America would focus on getting the drowning baby out of the lake instead of actually stopping the other people from crossing into America. So, I mean, these people are not, this is not a good thing, but there are probably organizers in Morocco that take a very small amount of money or resources from each one of these people. Like, let's say each person here gives them $10, okay? So you have like 1,000 people that give you $10. Okay, well, that's $10,000. And, you know, maybe you're also being funded by other groups as well. So you have the money to buy one of these boats. And then you give them these boats and you tell them, listen, on, you know, like May 3rd, everybody needs to show up at 7 a.m. because you're all going to Spain at the same time. And the reason why they probably all do it at the same time is because if you have such a deluge of these people, so many of these people, a flood of them, that it will be functionally impossible for Spain to stop that from happening. That's probably what happens. Like, and I'm making all of this up. But I'm just thinking about, like, if I was trying to do this, how would I do this? That's how I would do it. Send in the military? Well, Spain doesn't want to do that. That's the reason why. I mean, like, obviously, I agree with you, but they don't want to do that because they're afraid. So here's some more images of it, right? An emergency has now been declared in the Spanish city of Ceuta after tens of thousands of illegal migrants break in from Morocco. I don't think anybody has the number correctly, but there it is. Pedro Sanchez is refusing to deploy the military to defend the borders. Well, he's never going to. He's not going to do that. Here's another video. Look at that. Look at all those people. And that's the same image that we just saw earlier, right? Look at this. It's like 300, yeah. Lefty Spain leader gives these migrants citizenship so they can freely roam the EU. Well, yeah, I mean, but Europeans want that. Europeans want to be invaded by migrant Africans and then have these people live on social welfare and rape people. That's what they want. That's what Europeans want. Let me turn this down. No, we don't. Enough of you guys do. Enough of you guys do, and I'm sick of hearing that you don't. Whenever I see all these protests, like, why is it that these other parties are popular? Like, there's people voting for these other parties. You need to reconcile the fact that a lot of people in your country agree with this. And until you can acknowledge that reality, you're going to continue living in a fantasy. You don't realize how problematic this is. The women? Well, what are you going to do about it? Because if you don't do something about it, eventually these people, there are two conclusions to this. One of them is less violent than the other, but both of them are violent. The first solution is that you bring in the military and you forcibly remove all of these people as easily and as frictionlessly as possible, right? You try to avoid any sort of big problems and you just remove them. The second thing that could happen is that there will eventually be a power struggle. And this is what's going to happen in all of these countries. These people are coming from cultures and from areas that are profoundly and fundamentally different than Europe. They are. They're completely different. And so there will be a power struggle in which one side will win and another side will lose. That's it. Those are the two outcomes. They want a war? Well, that's what's going to happen. Spain's problem is part of the party that's not in government. The minorities are. I don't know about that. Saying Europe wants this because a few countries is like saying the U.S. wants migrants because of California and New York. Yeah, I know. We have a huge problem with those people. Like, I'd agree with you, Jack. I think that we have a huge issue. And it's a massive problem that there's so many people in America that think that, you know, America is founded by immigrants, so we have to let our borders open and let in every single immigrant. I think it's a huge problem. Like, I talk about that constantly every single day. Like, there is no bigger problem and a bigger threat to America than American voters. That's the big problem. Every other problem is downstream from that problem. All I'm saying is that, and also, by the way, when I say Europe, I apologize to my Polish viewers and a handful of the other based European countries that don't put up with this shit. I don't mean you guys, okay? I'm talking about the UK, France, Germany, Spain, and Portugal. Ireland, it's in the UK, but yeah, Netherlands. I don't know about Netherlands. So I'm talking about Europe as a country. I do think that, by the way, I do think that there is a collective European conscience to a degree. Like, there definitely is. And I think that why is this happening in all of these European countries at the same time? I think it's because of World War II. I'm speaking as an outsider. I'm giving my opinion. This is what I've observed. Look at them all. Oh my God. This is World War II guilt? It is. It's because globalists have bought the governments? Nope. It's because the people are stupid. The people are stupid and they're ruled by emotion, fear, and thoughtlessness. That's the actual problem. You have democratic representative governments here. You can't blame everything on the globalists. At a certain point, you have to contend with the person that's the problem is your neighbor. The person that's the problem is the people at your grocery store. It's not some shadow government in the EU that are out there protesting and holding up signs saying immigrants and refugees welcome. Those are your neighbors doing that. And until you're ready to reconcile and deal with that problem itself, you're not ready to solve this. That's the way it is. Look at this. There's another one. There's too many people showing up at the same time for this to be organic. You're confusing two things. Look at all those people. Oh my God. Jesus. It's a lot of fucking people, man. Your mind is too US centered. You just can't comprehend that Europe does not have real elections. Europe doesn't have a real... What country in Europe doesn't have a real election? Like, what does that mean to you? Because I'm either going to learn something or you're going to learn something. Somebody's about to learn something. I think a lot of you guys in European countries, not all European countries, but some European countries, you need to reconcile the reality that maybe even if you didn't vote for this, there is a large and sizable, very, very big group of people that support this level of immigration, and they support these problems. And the reason why is that I think they are ideologically captured by, white guilt or some sort of post-war guilt. And I think that that problem itself is the most detrimental and the most extreme problem that you have. Because every other problem is derived from that problem. That's my point. Women and simps? Okay, well then what are you going to do about it? If you just acknowledging the problem is not enough. You need a solution to either solve this problem or you are going to have your country colonized by a bunch of Africans. Like there's one way or another way. There's no middle ground here. These people are not going to have a middle ground. Now, bro, it's just young women feeling good about themselves for not being racist. Then what are you going to do about that? I understand that. At a certain point, these questions need to be answered. It's like governments and our governments are elected by the people, and amazingly enough, they always vote the same. Yeah, it's not just young women. There are men who want this too. I know that. This is being actively enabled by the government. These people are being forced to vote for Sanchez. It's the only way for them to stay in power. I'm Spanish. So are you telling me that? Let me see. Can I pull this guy up? Are you saying that, like, whenever you say these people, are you saying these Africans that are being let in? Most being of Europe, nothing will stop them going to the U.S. I don't even need to go that far. Is that what you're saying? No, you're not getting banned. Like, I'm asking you a question. It's part of the agenda, Muslims, yes? Okay, so basically, you're saying that they're letting all of these people into the country in order to create a voting block. And this is somebody from Spain. Or at least it says they're from Spain, right? Because I want to hear it from somebody that's not just me saying this, okay? That's the reason why I'm asking, all right? I want to hear somebody else that's not me say this. This has been going on in Spain for almost a year now? No, I've talked about it for, like, the past, 6 months. Yes, sir. Okay, we had a situation a few years ago. Our military literally guided them towards the mainland. Oh, my God. Wow. Wow. Look at them all. Oh my God. And you see they're going around the wall. World War Z? I told you, man. Look at them all. It just keeps going. Jesus. Oh my God. Is that the end of it? Holy. It's all men too, no females and no kids. Yeah, I know. Look at them, they're climbing on top of each other and shit. It's just like an amalgamation of people. Look at that. Can you imagine how it smells? Oh my God. What is this? Wow. They're all men. I don't see a single woman at all. Wow. That's insane. They opened the gate for them? Yeah, probably they did. Yeah, women can't swim? No, I think it's that the women get sexually assaulted and raped by the men that are there. The same as what happens here with like southern border crossings. And so the women aren't there because they don't want to get, constantly gang raped. That's probably the reason why there's not a lot of women there. If I had to guess. Like, I understand I'm being kind of, graphic with this, but I think it's the truth. Less than 80 years ago, these men would have been killing for invading Spain. In 2026, Pedro Sanchez gives them free housing, clothes, and citizenship. I don't see how you can look at these people and not see them as invaders. Sex trafficking? Yeah. Balls are breaking out, citizens are taking it into their own hands. Well, the thing is that 3 women on a boat crossing in the UK died yesterday. It's eventually they all died of heart attacks. Look it up, it's crazy. Yeah. سواء المغاربه او الافارقه في اتجاه المعبر الهوية والسبسة موجة بشرية بكل كلمة معناها نساء ورجال شباب وشابات. You know who would have solved this problem, by the way? We actually had the solution. We had the guy. Yeah, I mean, Vlad the Impaler, too. You're right about that. But, I mean, like, I'm talking about somebody that's more recent. The CIA killed him. I don't know who killed him. He warned about it? Isn't it crazy that he was right? Obama did that on purpose? Yeah, they should have never killed this guy. He was holding them in Libya, not Morocco? Yeah, I know that. Yeah, he was the president of Libya. Let me see this. Wow. I gotta see some more of these. Man. Kinetic intervention would solve this problem? I mean, yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I mean, it's an invasion. It is absolutely an invasion. The Civil Guard Patrol sneaks dozens of Moroccans. Wait, Civil Guard? I don't know what they're saying. They're not speaking American. I don't know what the fuck this is. Under flying smoke grenades? I don't know about that. If Spain can deal with this, how the hell can they support NATO? I don't know. Look at that. Because eventually there will be a critical mass of enough of these people in Spain that they can enable themselves to seek political power and to vote and enable that political power. That's where things are going. That's what's going to happen. I think that's the point where the violence starts. Uh-oh. It's fake. It's a deleted scene from the Odyssey. Yeah. Definitely. They were rescuing people that were drowning? Yeah? Why? I mean, I'm sorry, but maybe this is going to come off as insensitive. If you drown on your way over to invading a country, I call that natural selection. Just let them die. Yeah. These things have a way of working themselves out. It's a positive outcome? Yeah, like, what are we doing? More suicidal empathy. So embarrassing. Seeking with the fishes? Yeah. The worst part about this is it'll increase racism. Well, unironically, it will. Oh my God! Bro! Holy shit! Oh my God. Y'all used to be the conquistadors, and now you're being conquistadored. How did this happen, man? Like, y'all were fucking running shit. You guys were going around like you got half of South America speaking Spanish. Like, what the fuck is going on? Come on, guys! Remember Cortez? Pizarro? What happened? Bro. Spain had the best navy for 100 years? Did they? I thought it was always the British. I didn't know about that. Never heard that before. Dude, the beginning of this, dude, where they're just pouring in. Oh my God, look at that. Wow. That's nuts. Where are they gonna live? On the other side of the wall. They're gonna live on the other side of the wall, guys. Apocalypse in Spain, Christian Europe is under attack. They're coming from the oceans, they're coming from the mountains, they're coming from the sea, they're coming from the walls, they're climbing around the walls, they're coming over the walls. Bro, it's actually insane. Look at this. Jesus. Hamas broke into Israel just like this, but with only 3K people. Look what they managed to do on October 7th. People don't understand. They're just lucky. These people don't want to do immediate harm. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, here's the truth. I mean, if they started shooting people, they'd all run away. They would. Like, if like, let's say you see these people that are out on the horizon and they're coming towards you, and you fire a few shots, like 4 or 5 people drop, everybody else is going to turn around, okay? You think they're going to start running towards machine gun fire? This is, yeah, like, come on, guys. They run faster? I don't think so. I think they turn around. They don't shoot because they're allowing this? I know. This is a pretty good image. That's what they did back then, yeah. Raffle, you can't do that? You can't just do that! Well, okay, well, they can't just come over here. Well, yeah, but it's always the double standards. Yeah, you can. You do whatever you want. It's the Jews' fault? Yes. Why would the Jews do this to Spain? This is a late World Cup celebration. It is funny how every single riot I see in EU, I don't know whether it is a a celebration for a football game, or it's it's like a migrant invasion. I mean, they look identical. Spain's enclave of Ceuta, which is raided today under state of emergency. Residents are locked down, and the only illegal Moroccans on the street are playing in children's playgrounds. Oh my God. Imagine you're going to take your kid to the playscape, and there's just like 20 Moroccans. Whoa, no, whoa, look at me, look at me. Look at me, I'm European, I'm Spanish now, hey. You got to admit though, right? For these guys, it's probably the best day of their life. Like, you actually got in, you're in Spain now, like you probably have been trying to do this for years. It finally happens. They are on cloud 9. They're so happy. It's like Disneyland. Yeah, they made it to the... this is like them reaching Agartha, okay? Can't really blame them. I don't blame them. I blame the government. I blame the government for letting this happen. We are already attempting to enter. Oh, God. They're trying to climb into people's houses. It is a zombie invasion. Oh, man. And so it begins. Trojan horses have entered? No, because there's not a horse. They're just the Trojans. Actually, no, because they're the ones that had the horse. But you see what my point is, right? I mean, it's like, imagine Troy just opens the gates, and they're like, well, you know, we can't just let them all sit out there on the beach, okay? It's the Greeks. Yeah, we can't just let them do that. It wouldn't be hospitable for us. So, where are these? The government of Ceuta has released a video asking Spain to declare a state of emergency, deploy the army to the enclave, and fully close the borders. Sanchez deliberately ignored their requests and warnings about the coming invasion, leaving them no choice but to make these appeals public. I'm going to read the agreement adopted today by the Board of Spokespersons, an agreement that was unanimously approved by all spokespersons. It reads as followed.
La Junta de Portavoces, en reunión extraordinaria y urgente,
extraordinary urgent meeting held today.
30 de julio de 2026, atendido
in light of qualitative leap in the persistent massive influx of migrants into our city, which has been exacerbated in the recent hours by the mass entry on foot, bypassing the Tarajal breakwater, considers it urgent and unavoidable for the national government to adopt the following measures. Number one, the declaration of a national emergency under provisions of national security regulations. Dos, that's two. Send in the army, right? Yes. The closure of aforementioned border. At the same time, we want to convey a message of serenity and calm to all citizens. Guys, I know if you look outside, it looks like there's a zombie horde invading. Please don't look outside. Please lock your door. Please shut your blinds. Please hide all of your belongings. Please make sure that you don't go outside. Everything's totally fine. There's nothing wrong. Just lock your doors and don't go outside.
No es la primera vez que Ceuta se ve en una situación límite como la actual. Pero, como en las anteriores, también en este caso la sociedad ceutí volverá a dar y está dando un ejemplo de madurez.
We have given an example, solidarity, resilience. They're united, we'll move forward. Yeah, well, there it is, guys. They've already been overthrown. Illegal immigrants into the European Union. I bet those support the invasion, if not all of them. What is this here? my God. Oh, dude. This generation, it's over. I'm so happy this is happening, and it's so public, and it's so gratuitous. I'm so happy. Because I know... I know what's coming. I do. I know what's going to happen. I have a very, very, very strong certainty on what I think is going to happen. Long overdue. No spoilers? Yeah, I don't want a spoiler, guys. That way people don't tune in for the show. This is crazy. Do you think it'll be a war? Nope. No. I really don't think so. Man, this dude obviously had to add something. No, Sneako's trying to get in on this. Oh my God. Look at these. Jesus, look at these videos. Oh my God. You could hope it might go the other way. If it goes the other way, that's fine. That means it'll just serve as an example for everybody else not to let that happen. Yeah, I mean, and that might happen. I mean, it's very probable that something like that could happen. What's he saying? The rest of Europe is next, inshallah. This is the reason why people... You've shown your true colors. I mean, there it is. Persistence appears to be what is it? Muslims build anything themselves, and Sneeko literally has to go. Oh man! And if you lost your damn mind, and this, by the way, a lot of people agree with this. They do. If there's no action from the leaders, native citizens will migrate away from their homes to more secure countries. Yeah, I think that probably will happen. He's rage baiting. I mean, but like that's been all he's been doing recently. And also, how do you even know these people are Muslim? You have no idea whether they're Muslim or not. And even if they are, like, I mean, I don't even understand, like, this is the dumbest thing about, like, Sneeko's, like, this, like, Muslim angle that he's going with all the time, is, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure in the Quran it doesn't say that you can just invade some other random country and just show up there, right? I mean, obviously, there's probably things in the Quran that say respect your neighbors or something like that. It does? I don't know. Maybe I haven't finished reading it, okay? I haven't heard anything or read anything that it said that with, right? It does? Okay, well, you know, again, if that does, that's pretty bad. Let me see here. Oh, this is the one I already looked at. Spain's Interior Ministry has rejected the request to declare a national emergency, stating that immigration flows do not legally qualify as a risk to national security. Is that right? Wow.
So this Moroccan minister openly admitted...
Openly said it's not official policy, but
it's unofficial policy.
Yeah, Carson, I had years ago with one minister from Moroccan government. I asked him, why is there 20-25% of all illegal crossings to Slovenia made by people coming from Morocco? The minister said, why do you are accepting them?
It's the right question. He asks the right question.
He is. Because they're taking over, and the funny thing is that we're letting it happen. Yeah, why are you accepting this?
I said yes, but still, why this number is significant? He said, frankly, if you want to know, many of those people are trying to escape justice. They are thieves, they're criminals, you know, and our legal system is that when we catch somebody doing those criminal activities...
I've heard the same thing from other people in the Middle East where they were telling me that, you know, like one of the groups of people that migrates to Europe are the people that can't get along in their home country. You know, think about the people, like, why is it always young men? Because young men are the ones that can't get along. Criminals? Not necessarily, but a lot of them, yeah.
Not the most severe, but, you know, those... It's
problematic
not quite our
people.
interest to put him on trial, on jail. We wait a little. They're fleeing the country, going to you, you're accepting them, and this is your problem.
So this
He's
Moroccan
right.
minister openly admitted.
Openly said it's not official policy, but
I don't have anything against the Moroccans for doing this because we're letting them do it. Like, yeah, it's annoying that they're doing this, but I mean, like, you should be mad at your own government for letting him in. He's not even wrong.
it is.
But it's unofficial policy.
It's yeah. I was totally
The left is
shocked.
accepting them with open arms.
Thank
They
you
are.
for your frankness, but
And they will never, this is one thing you need to understand about leftists, is that the tipping point and the boiling point with this is not that leftists will realize that they're wrong. It's that the people that already think that they're wrong will simply be willing to use methods and tactics that are extreme. You would say this, right? They will never, all of the refugees welcome people, it doesn't matter if they get raped, it doesn't matter if they get beat up, it doesn't matter what happens to them, they will never relinquish these views. They will never give up these views. So you can don't have the fantasy that, well, once things get bad enough, these people will understand it. No, they won't. They will not understand it. Now, whenever I say they, I'm talking in generalities, right? Obviously, it's not a 100 to 0 issue, but I think generally that's the case. They'll have to double down. That's all they have. The left doesn't think they're wrong. Yeah, no, they don't think so. And so there's a video. And also, like, yeah, thanks for your frankness, but I'm not declaring war in your country. That should have been how that conversation ended. Well, I don't know. Like, I don't think you need to bomb Morocco, right? Perfect example is COVID. Yeah, perfect example. Yeah, COVID's a great example.
still, you know, you're exporting your problems to Europe, also to my country. And he repeated his first answer. Why do you accept him?
Yeah, why are you accepting him? Exactly. Spanish military vehicles have been moving towards the border. Oh. It's obvious Sanchez is controlled by Israel. If Israel didn't exist and every Jew disappeared, these problems would still exist. You need to accept that these problems, like the red herring of Israel being the causal factor in every issue, is being done intentionally to misdirect you from the fact that there are a lot of other foreign hostile actors besides Israel that also want to subvert you and fill your country up with foreigners that they can use for votes so they can reallocate your resources to themselves. Israel is not the only country that's doing that. Prove it? Okay. There were wars and problems before 1948. So, like, it's pretty simple. What do you mean? These problems have been existing forever. I was being sarcastic. He threatened to nuke Israel? Oh, really? I mean, like, nowadays, everything is Israel. Is no way Sanchez isn't being paid by someone? I don't know, man. I have no idea. Situation is completely out of control. There's so many across the borders. About 5,000 people. First clashes. Oh, this is exciting. First clashes are broken out in the streets of Ceuta between Spanish citizens and Moroccan invaders. How many people are even in this country or in this area? Yeah, I have no idea. I'd probably bet 20,000. Wow. Okay, that's more. So, okay, it's densely populated. Okay, I get it. So, yeah, it's less than 80,000. It says 83,000. So, yeah, I mean, that's 5,000 people. They could easily fend that off. Cultural enrichment at work. That's great, guys. That's great. Wow. This is why the military's there? Well, Jesus. You sure they're happy? They're acting like they're angry? Well, there's enough of them that are okay with it. Let me see, our powerless today and completely overwhelmed with thousands of migrants stormed the border today. It's absolutely an invasion. That's what Elon is saying. I agree with this. I think it's kind of obvious. Yeah. They'll arrest the natives before the illegals? Yeah, I know that. This is the vibe of those mass looting teen takeovers? Yeah, it does. Their own countries don't tolerate this shit, so they do it here? Yeah, that's exactly what happens. I mean, these people like criminals and other problematic people from like their home countries, and so they get sent out of the country, and so they're coming into Europe. Wow. The pariahs, basically? Yeah, probably. Check the map, they're just taking back their land. Well, I mean, if Spain's going to let them do that, yes, maybe Spain should leave. I don't know. But that's a different conversation. This is Germany annexing Poland moment? I don't know about that. Please look at what where Cuba is on the maps. Well, I know where it is. I looked at it on the map. I had the map open. It's literally right here. Yeah, you can see very clearly, like, this is Spain, and this is, yeah, it's in Morocco, and it's a small area. 80,000 people live here, and these are the people that this is where they're going, and then they're going to probably find some way to go from here over to Spain. And you can see here, Gibraltar, right? This is it. So they're almost there. These third world shithole countries don't want bombs sent their way, then they shouldn't send their criminals our way? Well, here's the issue. The voters are not willing to do that. This is the problem. Voters are not willing to actually solve this problem with extreme measures. They're not. And until they are, hundreds of Spaniards gather in the plaza to protest the illegal migrant invasion. Uh-oh. I give you a lot of shit in chat for the nuances about Europe and stuff, but at least you talk about it. You try to understand our issues. No one else talks about it. Thank you, Baldy. The reason why, and I don't mind it, right? Because you guys are giving me, if there's something like the only thing that annoys me is that, like, whenever, like, somebody in Great Britain tells me that they have freedom of speech, I'm like, okay, slow down, all right? Slow down, Ernest Pennyworth, all right? Go post a Facebook meme and then you're going to go to jail. So I don't want to hear that. But at the same time, you know, I don't want to get things wrong either. Who said that? And the reason why I talk about this is because a lot of people in Europe can't talk about this. They can't talk about it, but they can listen to me talk about it, and they can agree and then be moved in that direction. Why do all these world leaders want civil unrest? Well, I mean, it's very, very simple, actually. It's super obvious. Local residents are taking to the streets to protect their homes? Oh my god. It's actually pretty scary seeing the kind of censorship in the first world. Yeah. Cause a problem, sell the solution. That's not why it's happening. I think their metagame is that, so this is a big issue, right? So you have, like, why do you have all of these? I'll just play the video, actually. Why do you have all this happening? I think you have this happening for, like, a number of reasons. The first one is World War II. I think that World War II created generational guilt in Europe that made all of the European people feel like they had a collective social, ethnic, and cultural guilt for allowing Hitler to rise. And it wasn't just Hitler, right? I mean, it was Mussolini as well, Franco, you know, like, it wasn't just one guy. So I think that there is a lot of post-war guilt that enabled conversations to be shut down against this. Because the moment that somebody says, well, I don't want these people in my country, now this is on the spectrum. It's perceived to be on the spectrum of, oh my God, that's like Hitler because Hitler didn't like certain groups of people. I think that's exactly what happened. Turn off the music. Yeah, let me turn it down a little bit. It is a little bit loud. Yeah, let me see here. And pussification. Yeah, so that's number one, right? And number two is that a lot of the governments there, they want to maintain power. And what their mindset is I think the same mindset that they have in the United States. I'm not sure about this, but this is what I think it is that they want to bring in all of these different voting populations and then activate them as ethnic voting blocks and then keep them dependent on welfare and then be the welfare givers. So these people have to continuously vote for them in order to continue existing in the country. They can't vote? Well, of course they can. They just can't vote immediately. Like, I mean, what do you mean they can't vote? Don't you think about this for more than 3 seconds? This isn't something that happens in one day. This is a plan that happens over 25 years. It happens over 25 years. It happens over 20 years. So I'll give you an example. So in the United States, illegal aliens in the country are counted on the census, which allocates votes and houses for the House of Representatives. So the House of Representatives, we have 3 different branches of government. The House of Representatives is basically the bigger your state is, the more representatives you have. So what happens if you have a census and then the census says that your state has 5 million illegal aliens? Well, you get an extra fucking vote. You get 2 extra fucking votes. So that's the way that they can also vote in the United States. And I'm not even talking about amnesty. I'm not talking about voter fraud. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm not talking about local elections. I'm talking about actual just systemic things that are just totally undeniable. That's so stupid. Well, yeah, it is stupid, but that's what's happening. Cheap slaves destroy workers' rights. Yeah, and that's why businesses are okay with it too, because they're bringing in cheap labor. If you can't get the votes at home because your policies sucked, import them from the third world. Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happening, and it's happening in America too. It's the same thing. Let me pause this one. We're going to look at another one. These are people protesting. Man, sounds like playing Resident Evil 4. Yeah, I guess so. What's happening? I just joined. There is a small Spanish colony in Morocco called Ceuta that has been overrun by migrants. Literally thousands of migrants pouring into the country like a fucking zombie invasion. Like, I'm not even kidding. Look at some of these. Yeah, look at that. They're being conquered. They are. And they're letting it happen, too. Correction, illegal migrants? Yeah. Imagine getting invaded by zombies and cooked into not having guns for citizens. What do you think Spain's citizens should do? Block them at the port and shoot them if they get close to the mainland? I mean, I'm definitely not... Like, I would prefer not to shoot them, but if it came to it, I'd rather shoot them than have them come on shore. I would try to divert the boats. I'd try to use other forms of, discouragement. But, like, if it goes between the choice of they either go on the shore or you shoot them, I'd be shooting them. That's what I'd do. You have to? Yeah. But I'd try other methods first, absolutely.